Hey guys, this is Merrill Jenks with the Big Helper Real Estate Group at EXP Realty. And I apologize if you tried jumping on my video earlier. I tried to do it from a mobile hotspot at a house, and the connection was not strong enough to do a broadcast like that. So here I am trying it again. Just got home after meeting a contractor at a house, and I wanted to share something that I feel is really critical, and I wanted you to have this information as soon as possible. Zillow, I'm not one of the agents that likes to bash Zillow. I feel like the vast majority of agents are all about, spending 90% of their time bashing Zillow is honestly what it feels like sometimes. Zillow has been an incredible business partner for us. About a year ago, they started buying homes as what we call an iBuyer. Stands for institutional buyer. The other big name iBuyers in the Phoenix area are Open Door and OfferPad. And what these companies will do is, if you're thinking about selling your home, rather than having to put it on the market and deal with showings and lock boxes and open houses and all that, they'll just pay you cash for it. And you get to choose your closing date, and they charge a little convenience fee for that, and then they'll buy the house from you, and then after you're out, they'll deal with if it needs paint and carpet or whatever it might need, cleaning up the yard or whatever, and then they will list it. And of course, their goal with relisting it and reselling it is to make a small profit. And I'm all about companies. The whole reason they exist is to make a profit, and I'm absolutely okay with them doing that. I think that it's a fine business model, and I think that if people want to sell their home in that way, that it's okay. There's one piece of it though that I'm really not okay with, and that is that I feel like all of these companies are trying to imply that they are buying your house from you for fair market value, and that is where we part ways, right? That's where I really feel like they're ripping people off. And I just want, if you're thinking about selling your home to an iBuyer, I just want you to understand what it's costing you. Okay, because they're trying to imply that let's just say, for example, that they're going to charge a 7.5% fee. Okay, so they'll pay you $300,000 for your house. They're going to charge 7.5%. You probably know most realtors' commission would be less than that, but you figure, you know what, for 1% or 2 or 3 or whatever it ends up being, it's worth the convenience to me to not have to deal with all those showings and the dogs and all that stuff. So I'm willing to pay that amount of money. But the problem is that their original offer is usually well below what you could actually get for the home in the open market. And that's where I think they're kind of tricking people. Home values are rising so rapidly right now that they're giving you an offer for 300 on the house. And you might think, oh, that seems pretty reasonable. That's a lot more than I paid for it. When in reality, you might be able to get 350. So I'm okay with these companies wanting to buy the home and make a profit and all that, but I feel like people need to be informed, and people need to understand how much money they're really leaving on the table. Now, Zillow, they have this really powerful tool called the Zestimate, or sometimes people call it the Z-estimate. I have always called it the Zestimate. Zillow has done more work in this category than any other company that I'm aware of in the country, that have like an automated algorithm that creates an automatic estimate for nearly every home in the United States. It's actually really remarkable. But the problem is that, and they've done a lot to really perfect that estimate over time and to really make it as accurate as possible. Now, listen, Zillow doesn't know what's inside your house. It's never going to be accurate. No matter how much work they do to this estimate, it's never going to be perfectly accurate because there's just too many variables. So that's why you need a real estate agent to really give you the value of your home, because, is it next to a road? Is it back to power lines? Is it incredibly upgraded inside? Is it really basic inside? And there's all these things that can affect the value that Zillow's, no matter how good their math equation is, probably won't be able to adjust for those massive levels of variables. But Zillow recently started buying homes for the Zestimate, right? So they will, whatever your Zestimate is, they're putting their money where their mouth is, and that's where they'll buy it. But I have noticed recently that they have been significantly deflating the Zestimates. Not that they've gone down, but they're not coming up at the same pace as the market. I believe that Zillow is intentionally keeping the Zestimates well below what the fair market, because I've seen on home after home after home after home where the Zestimate is significantly lower than what I know the fair market value of the home is. And so what'll happen, and I'm going to show you an example here in just a second. Actually, let me just pull up the example. This is a property that Christy and I own as an investment property. So I feel good, like I'm not throwing anyone under the bus and showing you specifically this house. Okay, so check this out. This is a home. It's in Florence in a community called Magma Ranch, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,110 square feet. And the Zestimate for the property is $253,000. So if you were thinking about selling your home and you saw, hey, my Zestimate is 253 and Zillow came in and offered me 253, and yeah, they're charging me 7.5% in fees, but man, that's amazing because they're giving me fair market value for the house, right? But here's the problem, is that 253 is ridiculously below what the fair market value of the house is. So I just want people to understand, like, if they offered you 253, that's nowhere close to what you could actually get for the home on the open market. That's where they're tricking you. And that's where I have the issue. That's what I feel that Zillow is kind of trying to, and it's not just this house. They've seen it on lots and lots of houses, but I feel like they're kind of trying to trick people who maybe are less informed, and all they've ever looked at is their Zestimate. And when they come in with an offer that matches their Zestimate, people are going to be happy with it. So to prove it to you, I pulled up the comps on this house. Okay, so these are other homes in the neighborhood that are either active on the market, pending, or sold within the past 30 days. The market's really, really hot right now. We don't like going back too many months on the comps because literally home values have risen like 8% this year alone. Okay, this first active listing is a listing that our team has, and that's why this makes it a perfect example. And it is on the same street. I mean, look at the address 10693 and 11063, both on Sunflower Court, both the same builder, both similar lot, both the same year built. I mean, these homes couldn't be more similar, except for the fact that this house is 50 square feet smaller. Okay. I can't disclose the price because we're still finalizing the terms of the contract, but we have 9 offers on this property and it will go well above 300,000. So that much I can tell you. And okay, and again, this home's 50 square feet smaller and nearly identical. In fact, the backyard landscaping isn't as nice. Okay, then there's another active listing, obviously way overpriced. It's the same square footage, but it has a 3-car garage. They're asking 375,000. They're probably a little crazy. Okay, then we've got another one. It's under contract at 305,000. This home's almost 200 square feet smaller, and I happen to know that they're under contract at full price. And then this one here is pending at 275, pending at 285. And then lastly, the lowest of all the closed comps went for 268. So worst case, now keep in mind, this one that went for 268 is actually 200 square feet smaller. So actually, if you took that price per foot of $138 times the 2110 square feet in the house, it actually comes out to like 290. Okay. So worst case scenario, looking at these comps, like even any algorithm could calculate an estimate, and there's no way, I don't see how it could possibly come in lower than 275, 280 range. Okay. But for somehow mysteriously, this estimate on the home is 253,000. So, that's what whoa, okay, let me stop my screen share there. Okay, so that is the main thing that I just wanted people to understand and be informed about. If you want to sell your home to Zillow or to any other iBuyer, I'm okay with that. In fact, we can even help you coordinate that if you want. Go and request those offers for you. But I just want you to know that their price, their offer amount is rarely close to fair market value. So, again, in that case, right, let's say that I did sell my home to Zillow, right? 253,000, they're going to charge me 7.5 in fees. So whatever it is that I'm left with, 230,000 or something like that. But I could also turn around and sell it with a realtor. Let's just call it 6% in fees. Obviously, commissions are negotiable, and I'm not saying that's what they're going to be, but let's just hypothetically, okay? I'm pretty confident. I'm extremely confident, being in the business, that I could get at least 310 for that house in today's market. So we're talking, 1.5% lower fees, but an extra $60,000 on the sales price. So I don't know a lot of people who are willing to leave $70,000 or $65,000 on the table merely for the convenience of not having to deal with showings. And so that's again, maybe I'm a broken record here, but that's the point that I really wanted to make is if you want to sell to those guys, then that's fine. But please let us look at it for you so that we can show you what the gap is. How much are you really going to net when you sell to them? How much would you really net if you sold it on the open market? And if you're happy with that gap, then by all means go ahead. But if not, let us share some ways that we can help you get your home sold with very, very low effort on your part. Anyway, appreciate your time, and let me know if you have any questions.